Hello and welcome to World Talks. Time to come home after 2 groundbreaking weeks aboard the ISS. Polish and Hungarian astronauts Sławomir Uznański-Wiśniewski and Tibor Kapu, part of the Axiom-4 crew, are preparing to return to Earth this week or even tomorrow. Their mission marked a milestone not only for Poland and Hungary, but also for Europe's role in commercial spaceflight, with experiments spanning medicine, material science, and national security research. Now the attention turns to what their mission has accomplished and what comes next. Joining me in the studio to discuss this is Sonja Agata Bišćan, TVP World, a reporter who reported yesterday to the main issue of Wellness Tonight about the whole mission and its endeavor and achievements. So, Sonja, we will be soon showing the pictures live just to make sure nothing is spared to our viewers and that we can follow the whole procedure of undocking and basically enabling to come home for our astronauts. But let us start with the main achievements or the outcomes of this Axiom-4 mission. What was it mainly?
Well, there are many achievements, and I think they could be divided into several categories. Of course, there are scientific achievements, but then also more broadly cultural and societal, as well as some economic, I would say, or prospects of economic achievements. When it comes to scientific experiments, this mission Axiom-4 focused on over 60 scientific experiments, of which 13 were Polish scientific experiments. So the outcomes of these are they're underway. In fact, the results or parts of the results are on board of the Dragon capsule already. So they're coming back to Earth and they will be examined further by scientists, researchers in Poland. So this is portion of the scientific developments. I would also say that even the scientific developments could be divided into 2 categories. Scientific developments for future of human spaceflight, but even scientific developments for our life on Earth. When it comes to scientific developments in furtherance of human spaceflight, obviously each of the 13 experiments was unique and interesting in its own way. One that comes to mind just because I interviewed someone from Extremo Technologies, it is the volcanic algae that have been in space. They offer oxygen production, and this experiment, based on the findings so far, proved successful. And it's very important because it could advance food production and even water filtration, which is extremely important, not just for human spaceflight, for example, on the International Space Station, but for missions that are much further away, such as Moon or Mars, where, of course, bringing a lot of things with you to these further destinations is very difficult. So it's important that food production can be self-sustained, basically, and this is one of the experiments which facilitates that or offers the possibility to do it. But then when it comes to also developments for science on Earth, we can talk about some experiments that focused on the psychological well-being of astronauts, as well as physical well-being of astronauts. In other words, they could advance also our own well-being, because it's not just astronauts that undergo stress, it's also our common people.
Right, but exactly, specifically focusing on the psychological issue, Sławomir Uznański-Wiśniewski has been also for 2 weeks on the ISS. So is this experiment valid, or how to say, reliable, right? What outcomes are there for, just specifically concentrating on the resistance or the resilience also of the astronauts in space?
Well, again, speaking to experts, I've been told that Sławomir did extremely well because some astronauts prepare for their missions for 5 years or so. Sławomir did it in a fraction of the time, approximately 1 year or so. So he had to speed up his preparation process, and still everything went successfully. Also, from what I've been been told he approached all the experiments with enthusiasm and really with the willingness to conduct them well. And I mean, this is also the results that we are seeing from the Polish Space Agency, which confirmed that scientific achievements of this mission are nearing 100%. So everything went according to plan. There were also no malfunctions of any kind, which overall just signifies the success of this mission.
So apparently big success, right? 100% attained. I have this impression that the biggest challenge was before even the ISS was reached, right? Because the flight was rescheduled multiple times, so Sławomir Uznański-Wiśniewski had to prepare for a long period, and also stress management was key here. But let us just see the live now what's going on in the space. As we have learned, both astronauts Sławomir Uznański-Wiśniewski and Timur Kapur are already in the capsule, the Dragon capsule, so they have just begun the procedure of separating from the ISS, reaching and targeting Earth tomorrow. But Sonja, of course, ambition comes at a cost. Ambition is expensive, right? So we have heard from the Polish Space Agency that the whole cost of the mission was about 65 million euros. It's a lot. But could you please put it into a context? We know that it's a fraction, of course, from the program of the Space Agency expenses. So is it costly or not?
Mm-hmm. Again, speaking to experts, they say this was worth the price tag that it bears. Indeed, 65 million euro is part of the increased Polish contribution, 360 million euro for the period of 2023 to 2025 to the European Space Agency, which enabled this mission. And again, speaking to experts, what they highlight is the multitude of values that this creates for research, but also for society. In terms of a concrete example, all the experiments that were now in space, they bear something that is called space or flight heritage. And what this means, it's basically a stamp of approval that these experiments, that this technology works in space. This is very important, especially for investors, for anyone considering purchase of such an experiment, of such technology. They need to know that this works in space, not just on Earth. Of course, these experiments have been tested on Earth, but it is this space or flight heritage that finally approves that this works and it's worthy of being purchased. So I've been told that one of the experiments, Leopard ISS, which is a data processing unit created, of course, by Poland or Polish entities, and it already received inquiries regarding sales, and I believe maybe even some sales based on just this mission and the fact that their experiment was in space. So we're already seeing success for Polish industry, for Polish companies, and likely this will continue.
Hopefully. So Sonja, look at this. Isn't it amazing? We sometimes experience troubles with connecting London, and here we are streaming live from space with absolutely excellent quality. Just for your information, this is Sławomir Uznański-Wiśniewski and Timur Kapur, who are already in the Dragon capsule. And let me remind you that the undocking procedure is expected to begin today at 1 p.m. sharply, and the hatch closure has just begun. It will close at 10:55. So you can observe here our astronauts trying to get ready for the fly home.
It's definitely a historical development.
Amazing.
47
Seriously.
years since the last Pole went into space.
Exactly. So let's elaborate on this symbolic they mentioned, right, for Poland and Hungary. It's our Polish second time in the space. I don't know, how about Hungarians?
I believe it's also their second time after more than 40 years.
So what is the significance of such a mission for such small countries, relatively, for the big countries which target the space?
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of Hungary, yesterday Tibor Kapu, during the farewell ceremony on the International Space Station, he mentioned that what this mission signifies is that it's in fact possible to reach space also for smaller countries. So I think that that's number one. But then, indeed, this is a return for Poland after 47 years. The Polish flag was in space now. But aside from that, also some actual artifacts of Polish heritage, poems by Wisława Szymborska, manuscripts or copies of manuscript by Frederick Chopin, the music, as well as a number of other things. I mean, we've seen also pierogi being eaten in space, being consumed in space, and especially the artifacts that have gone to space. I mean, they're likely to be exhibited. So this is not.
Hey guys, whoever has access to it, enjoy it.
Yes. So this is really part of the process, and as I also mentioned earlier, the findings of the experiments, the findings of the experiments are being returned to Earth as well, so they will continue to live a life of their own. And this is, when I spoke to experts about this development, they said this is not the end. The fact that Axiom-4 crew is leaving the International Space Station, this is not the end of this mission, because in many ways it will continue through continuation of exploration of findings from the mission, as well as education.
Right, but also the private sector. Aim for the moon, shoot for the stars, right? And what does it say about the role of private commercial operators like Axiom Space in shaping the whole process, European access to low Earth orbit?
Space is a highly collaborative environment. I mean, this mission is a great example of that, with the involvement of Axiom, but also with NASA, with SpaceX, with the European Space Agency, with Polish Space Agency, etc. And right now, but also historically, space has only been accessible through collaboration of these various entities. And I think that in the future we will also see public-private partnerships, because at this stage, it is not just that public entities maybe don't have their own capacity to conduct such type of missions on their own, but at present maybe there is also no need, because there are other ways to go about it, and collaboration is this really important and valuable element of working together towards space achievements.
Sonja, thank you so much for coming here.
Thank you very much.
Sonja Agata Bišćan, a reporter, TVP World, has commented on the situation that we can observe right now. And you can follow live the pictures from the ISS. As you know, both astronauts are already in the Dragon capsule. We will leave you with these pictures, because this is the most fascinating thing you will see today. Both astronauts heading for their flight home, and they are expected on Earth tomorrow. Sonja, thank you once again.